Hello, welcome to us spreading the heterophobic agenda. My name is Chi.
And I'm Kat. And this is Do The Podcasty Thing. We're gonna talk about ships today.
I was hesitant to do another opinion episode, but then I realized, fuck it, it's our fucking podcast. We can do whatever
we
the
can
fuck
do
we want.
literally anything that we want. I also shout out to the one person who commented on our last podcast. Thank you so much. I love you.
Jax, thank you for supporting our podcast. You were the person who inspired us to do this podcast, or at least for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about Homestuck in general. That's my inspiration. But thank you so much for listening. I genuinely did not think anyone other than, like, our friends that we forced to listen to it would listen to this. So we're going to be talking about ships. Okay, first of all, let's just start. What is your OTP, like, current time? I know the answer already. I know your answer.
You go first, because I need to think about it.
Okay, shit, I need to think about it too. Bro.
Bro? Just bro. The ship is just bro.
Ew, no! I was expecting you to immediately say Dave Cat, but you have your face is telling me otherwise.
Dave Cat makes me yearn.
Both Dave and Carcat said this.
Dave Cat, it was kind of like, for me, like in the beginning, it was like, because I ship everything. So I'm like down with basically every ship. So I was like, Dave Cat? Why not? But now I'm like,
yeah.
Dave Cat?
I mentioned this, I think, on the podcast before as well, on the first episode. But I used to vehemently hate Dave Cat because I thought it was just, this is like, way before way before Carcat and Dave were ever on the Meteor. But people would ship them because, like, oh, they're both, like, the hot, sensitive boys. And also, like, I did think that people saw, like, the parallels between, like, their characters. But for me, as a John Dave fan, I was like, wow, people are just shipping them because they, like, hot yaois or whatever.
Yeah.
Being hypocritical myself and shipping John Dave.
You just like the hot yowies.
Yeah.
And you crave childhood friends.
I crave childhood friends to lovers. That is my bread and butter of ships.
Because your OG ship is John Dave. Like, for sure, like, all the way.
Yeah.
Like, I told you I shipped Dave Cat, and you were like, ugh.
Disgusting. It's always been John Dave for me, but that changed this time reading Homestuck because Dave is with Carcat and is extremely happy. And also, the way that Dave and Carcat got together was, like, they very much became bros, and Carcat, for a while, was Dave's John, if that makes sense. Like, John was always, like, John, but, like, it was his best friend, and it was, like, his person that he could then confide in, and, like, he could make fun of him, and they would, like, joke at each other. But also, Carcat's sensitive, too.
Carcat is very much the John of this. He's the parallel to John, but for Alternia.
Yeah.
And he also, okay, so this is in the Optimistic Duelist video that recently came out, but they talked about how John inadvertently reaffirmed Dave's toxic masculinity.
Oof.
Carcat doesn't have that, like, framework.
Yeah.
So he does, like, he's bros with both of them, but he just didn't get that.
Didn't get the memo.
Ironically, Carcat didn't get the memo for once.
Toxic masculinity, he doesn't know her. I mentioned this before. I called you on the phone while I was in California, and I was like, hey.
Oh, yeah. I think about this constantly.
So, Carcat and Dave. Carcat is the new John.
Carcat is not the new John.
Okay, I have to explain this. It's such a complicated concept. But
Carcat was born before John. Oh, hatched. He was hatched, sorry.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going to kill you. And Kanaya is the new Jade. I know this sounds crazy, but... Okay, so Dave... Oh, fuck.
Dave is the parallel to Sollux.
Yes. Okay, but also I was mostly thinking of it from the kid's perspective. And, like, if we are to, like, see Dave and Rose as, like, two queer kids who had, like, may have explored their feelings for their friends at the time, then Karkat and Kanaya are the next, like, logical steps, if that makes sense. Oh, fuck. It's so hard to explain.
It's so... They're direct parallels, even within the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave and Sollux are both described as insufferable prick,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Like, there are direct parallels between certain humans and certain trolls, and they have similar relationships as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like similar, quote-unquote, archetypes. So, because... Cool, this is going on some assumptions that Dave was in love with John. Or that had a crush on John. That's a strong word, sorry.
I don't necessarily believe that, but also, if Dave is someone who is, like, desperately repressing his feelings, what feelings is he repressing, is the question. Like, what could have been there that he was, like, afraid to explore, or, like, may have felt but didn't want to address?
Yeah. He's like, I could never do it with John. But...
He's an alien. You don't understand toxic masculinity. So sexy.
He literally sees the direct parallel to John, and like immediately is like, yes, him. Yeah. And the same for Karkat, because Sollux and Dave are parallels, and he had a really weird relationship with Sollux that may or may not have involved romantic feelings.
I didn't pick up on that at all until my second time reading, or my latest time reading. But the way that their first interaction goes is them basically, like, hate flirting with each other, and then both being like, ugh, this was gross, let's stop. Like, they have, like, this weird practice relationship kind of thing, where it's like, they both, like, don't and do, like, want to have those conversations with each other. Like, they both, like, neg each other constantly, but it's not romantic, but it kind of is, and so they were embarrassed about it, and they don't like to talk about it, and they're like, okay, let's forget this ever happened.
They're like, oh, I hate you, well, I hate you too, let's never talk about this.
Yeah. It's very childish. It's kind of sweet.
We're supposed to be talking about OTPs, and we were talking about, like...
whatever, bro.
Literary parallels between different characters.
I didn't even get to the part with Rose and Jade yet.
Okay, go on.
But Rose, the parallels between Kanaya and Jade are more like less personality, more literal text, as in they're both green space girls. But Rose and Jade, like, clearly did not have, like, the closest relationship. Like, Rose was much closer to Dave and John, but also, like, as a lesbian kid, you don't really get along with other girls well.
That's repressed misogyny right there.
Yeah.
It's this lesbian girl who had one female friend, and then she immediately replaced her with another green space girl.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't explain myself as well as I'd like to there.
It's a hard concept, but I'm sure they get it. If they don't, whatever. It's our podcast.
I called you desperately, like, trying to explain myself, like, over the summer, and you were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think
about it. Listen, please.
I think about it near constantly. Who's Rose's parallel?
For Vris-can.
Oh, because they're both light players.
Yeah. They're also both, like...
Oh, yeah, and Kanaya falls in love with both of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What's our next question? Wait, do we even answer the question?
Okay, what's your OTP, if you have one? Or just, like, things that come to mind for favorite ships. I assumed yours was Dave Cat, but you do generally like ships in general.
In general, I like ships.
Generally, in general?
Let me look at this.
I feel that generally, I enjoy general ships.
I'm looking at this. I want to look at a list of ships. Because I have the memory of a Sasquatch.
Okay, I'll answer in the meantime. I guess my OTP is Rose-Kanaya now, because John Dave is I can no longer say it's my favorite ship, even though it was for many a year, and, like, defined my taste in ships.
What happened?
Dave Cat happened.
Good point.
I mean, I can still ship both at the same time, and I still do enjoy a good John Dave every now and then. A Pepsi Cola, if you will.
Do not bring up Pepsi Cola in this house. God, a quick aside, do you remember Pepsi-Coli?
I'll never forget Pepsi.
Fucking... it was like, John could not see because he was mute.
God, bring back all the old AUs where John was like mute or deaf or blind or all of the above. People just loved to
because
disable John.
He's a self-insert, so people like put whatever they want onto him.
True. And then they have Dave take care of him because they ship themselves with Dave, is what you're implying.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah. So all early John Dave fics are basically reader insert fics.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Because that's John's purpose in the story.
Yeah.
Is like to put yourself on him. He's a breath player.
The way you looked at me when you said that was like you were saying the most obvious thing in the world.
He's a breath player.
Duh.
But
there were some really good John Dave fics that, well, I mean, to be fair, I was like a young teenager when I read them, so I don't know how well they hold up now. But there were some really good John Dave fics back in the day that had really strong characterization for John. They played like a lot more into his like sassiness and his like dorky charmingness.
I love when people depict John's personality.
Yeah, me too. I love when John has a personality.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I love John so much.
Okay, what's the next question?
I also
Can I ever answer the question? It's Dave Cat, but I also have,
Dave Cat with an asterisk.
I have room in my heart for other ships as well.
Yeah. But I was also gonna ask you what your OTP was back in the day. I already answered mine clearly, but back when you first read Homestuck, what ships hit you hard?
Oh, Equinep.
Oh, Equinep. Aww.
That one was real good.
That one fucking lyric stuck, the
Blue lips.
Yeah. That lyric stuck invented art.
Art did not exist before Blue Lips.
So good.
Including the Homestuck comic.
Correct. They invented Homestuck.
Little known fact, Andrew Hussey was inspired by Blue Lips. Oh, what's the next question? Meow Rails! The ship name is Meow Rails. I forgot about that.
There were some really cute ship names. I think it's really funny in the epilogues. Kanaya finds out that their ship name is Rosemary, and she's like, oh, I don't like that.
There's Roxygen.
Hammer Time was a favorite John Dave one. Because everyone used Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Shut up. I said it first, but shut up. Everyone used Pepsi Cola instead of Hammer Time, but I thought Hammer Time was much funnier.
I love how there are fun ship names. Like, that always makes me really happy, even though everyone, like, outside the fandom hates it, because, like, they're like, how am I supposed to find these ships?
I know, one of my other favorites was Aradia and Jake was Adventure Time.
Fucking PB&J.
Oh, I have a story about PB&J.
Oh, yeah, okay. you said this earlier, but we were saving it for the podcast.
Yeah, back in the day, I got into the fandom about the same time that, like, Gamtav was pretty much considered canon. Like, after that one log where Gamzee was messaging Tavros and was like, maybe we could make out a little, and Tavros is like, that happened, like, not that long after I, like, started reading Homestuck. So, PB&J was a hot topic at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
And, yeah. I was in my grandma's house. I had been reading Homestuck, and phones at the time were not as powerful as they are now, so I couldn't really look at Tumblr on my phone. So I was using my grandma's computer to check my Tumblr and all that. And, at about, 3 in the morning, after I'd been reading Homestuck, because I just never sleep, and Homestuck was my pastime then.
Me too.
I wanted to look at PB&J art, and so I looked up PB&J on, the hashtag on Tumblr, and I was just looking at art, and while doing that, the computer froze. The screen just, froze, and I was like, you know what, people don't really use this computer that much anyway, I'm just gonna, close it out, or not close it, because I couldn't close it, it was frozen, I'm just gonna, go to bed, and the screen will, turn off on its own, because it's a fucking computer, whatever. So, I wake up the next morning, and at some point, I don't remember who it was, if it was my aunt or my grandma or my mom or something. She comes over to me, she's like, so were you hungry last night? And I was like, what? What do you mean? She's like, the computer had PB&J searched on it. And I was like, Dear God, I hope you did not see those gay aliens making the computer.
Yeah, it's super hungry.
And I was just like, oh, haha, yeah. I like didn't answer because I didn't know how to explain myself. But
Do you ship any straight ships?
yes, I love.
Incorrect.
I mean, no character in Homestuck is truly straight except for Jane, as we all know.
Yeah.
But I love Aradia and Sollux. That is like my one straight ship that I will take to the grave.
Is it straight though?
I mean, neither of them are straight, but they are in a hetero relationship, technically. Unless you count Sollux as bigender, which, honestly...
Everyone should.
Everyone should. But that's the closest to a straight ship that I have.
Unless Sollux is a lesbian.
Sollux is a he-him lesbian.
We were talking about how much of a Chad Sollux is.
Ladies! I love Sollux. Speaking of Sollux ships, do you want to talk about ships that we dislike, or is it too early?
What was it? The next question?
That wasn't the next question. We keep getting sidetracked. But,
as usual.
This, it's kind of related to the question. The thing that I want to talk about, or the ship that I wanted to talk about.
Do you want to talk about Aerosol?
Bro, I was about to bring that up. My next question was, did the fandom change your opinion on certain ships at all?
Oh,
like, either for better or for worse?
Aerosol,
I hate it more because the fandom. No offense to anyone who makes, like, really good art or fanfic about it. Like, I'm sure it's all great, and you guys are having a good time, but Aerosol is not a good ship that I enjoy.
Aerosol... I feel like the fandom kind of, like, took it and, like, ran with it.
Yeah.
In, like, a way that it is not
Like,
justified within the canon.
A lot of people just, like, assume that you will ship Aerosol because of their relationship in canon, like, the way they hate each other, and it's like, no, I don't ship them at all.
I could ship them. Like, I see fan art and I'm like, nice.
Yeah, I do think a lot of the fan art is good, and I've heard that there's some really great fan fiction, but also I'm not interested in reading. Why ship Aerosol when you could ship RFF?
Okay, well, you could technically ship both.
I know.
But RFF is...
It's one of my favorite ships, honestly.
It's way better than Aerosol. Let's be real.
Wait,
RFF or...
Aradia.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, wait.
So, I say her name Aradia,
Yeah.
so...
Aradia.
Aradia.
People who say Aradia have no rights.
Apparently,
Apparently, Andrew Hussey says Aradia, but he's
he
wrong
has
too.
no rights. I'm the new author of Homestuck now. Dirk said this.
Oh, bro, you just kidding Dirk for a second there.
Aren't I always?
Dope,
I'm
bro.
a heart player.
Bro. Bro. Dirk kinned Hussey really hard and became the author of Homestuck. That's what happened.
God, Aradia and Feferi. That's not how I even say her name. Aradia and Feferi. I just love the idea of they were both like attracted to Sollux, and then at some point they both ditch Sollux and just end up with each other. And also they're both like the highest and lowest of the hemio spectrum.
Yes. Hemio.
I don't know why I said it like that. The hemo spectrum.
God, I hate the hemio spectrum.
When you're trying to impress a Homestuck fan, but you don't know anything about the series.
God, hemio spectrum, am I right?
Am I right? But I just love that for them, and they're both like happy, somewhat morbid girls, so I feel like they would have a lot in common.
Speaking of two girls who ditched a boy, let's talk about Vris-can-Rose, please.
Always,
Please.
always,
Please.
Terezbian.
Terezbian.
I love her.
Can we talk about how Terezi's a lesbian, please?
Terezi is a lesbian.
Good talk.
But just the way that she completely abandons the boys that complicate her life and end up much happier with just Vriska. Just Vriska. Oh god, good for her.
She really had boys ruin her life and was like, fuck it. I'm girls
Lesbian
now.
time. I love her.
Ooh, lesbian time.
Lesbian time.
She was such a lesbian that she made Dave and Carcat fall in love.
Oh, to go back to, like, old ships, like, way before, Dave Cat was a thing, Dave Resi was super popular. So was Car Resi. They were both insanely popular. Terezzi, I actually was a huge fan of Terezzi back in the day, too.
And until, like, a few months ago.
Yeah.
Terezzi's not that bad of a ship. Too bad she's a lesbian.
Yeah. The thing, like, before we knew she was truly a lesbian.
Yeah.
It was,
before we were awakened to the truth.
Yeah, those moments where, like, they would send each other hearts, or, like, Carcat.
When he, like, logs back on to send her a heart.
Exactly. That moment, like, destroyed everyone.
I almost shipped a straight couple.
Almost. Thank God they were both gay.
I don't know, I think Carcat's bi, but that's just my onion.
Yeah, that's just your onion.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think most of the trolls are, like, bi or pan, whatever.
Except for Terezzi and Kanaya.
Yeah, Terezzi and Kanaya are lesbians. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Other ships that changed, Croncree. Croncree is so wildly, like, misinterpreted by the fandom.
Yeah, I don't know anything about fandom shipping it, but,
oh my god.
It's fucking weird, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry. Imagine being a Cronus stan.
Imagine seeing all the characters in Homestuck and seeing Cronus and be like, that's it.
That's the one. No offense to Cronus stans, but also full offense.
I can't talk. You guys know who I like, but like, come on. This is coming from someone who likes Zebra.
You're right.
Cronus
all the Cronus stans are gonna be like, I'm not gonna take this from a Zebra stan. Are you joking?
I'm not a Zebra stan. I don't stan him.
No, you're just horny. Are we gonna have to bleep that out?
Probably. Well, we can't. Well, we're not bleeping stuff out anymore.
We're not? I think it's really funny when we do that.
Okay. We can bleep it out just once.
Just once.
It's our podcast. We can say whatever we want.
I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about ships that either the fandom changed or changed the way we saw it.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, for me, a lot of them was ships that I did not already ship, and then I just disliked more.
Which ones?
John Bro. Literally anything involving Bro.
Imagine shipping Strider Cest. Especially with Bro and Dave. Like, it's fucked up with Dave and Dirk, but with Bro and Dave, it's just, like, super fucked up.
Just, if you...
How about... No.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
John
Bro's... I don't understand where it came from or why. I don't know if it's, like...
People just wanted to see an older boy fuck a younger boy, probably.
I guess so.
They just wanted this grown-ass man to see a 13-year-old and being like, ooh.
Ew! Oh, God.
Or, because John is a self-insert, and people were super horny for Bro.
You're so right. Oh my god, you're so right. Shit, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
I do also think it was, like, your best friend's, like, hot older brother, like, kind of fantasy.
He's, like, in his 40s or something.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of hot, though.
He's not.
I'm just horny for Dirk because I'm a Jake Kinney.
That's not valid.
It's really not, but what can I say?
Jake said this. Jake saw Dirk.
Oh, I can't believe we went this long without mentioning Dirk Jake.
Oh, Dirk Jake is just a given.
Yeah, but it was one of my favorites. Oh, especially after John Dave was, like, one of the biggest ships for a long time in the fandom, even though I'm biased in saying that, because all I cared about was John Dave content. But, even before the Alpha Kids were properly introduced, people were shipping Jake and Dirk, because they would be, like, related to John and Dave.
Mm-hmm. It was a parallel to
John
and Dave.
It was the new John Dave. That's what it was. And then they became their own thing. People were like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Oh, can we talk about the direct parallels in canon? Explicitly stated parallels between Horace and Rufio and Jake and Dirk?
Yeah, good lord.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Ouchies.
Good talk.
Cause like literally they have direct parallels within the Mina bound Flash, and then like in the next like act they like break up.
Yep. And it's really funny because at the time people I don't think realized how accurate it was gonna be. I think people saw like some moments of like, oh, there's like a horse boy and like a boy that's like kind of not.
Adventure-y.
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, an adventure-y boy. But, wow, Hussey really said, this is what's gonna happen in the next act, and you're just gonna take it.
He was like, take it, bitch.
Spits on us. You wanted John Dave? Fine. Here you go. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You spit on me.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
He was like, you wanted two childhood friends who grew up gay for each other and then romantically were involved later in life? No!
Get fucked. I still love Dirk Jake, though. And I still, I loved / absolutely hated their dynamic in the epilogues. Thought it was perfect for them and also extremely depressing. And I'm really excited to see where it goes in Homestuck, too.
Whenever you read it.
Yeah, I haven't read since the first update, because I've just been busy with other things.
What are your thoughts on Roxygen?
Roxygen?
Or breathalyzer?
Oh, John and Roxy?
Yeah.
I loved it, back when it was a thing, and I loved it...
Back when it was a thing?
I mean, back in, like, before the epilogue, pretty much.
I was like, people still ship it.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. But especially, like, when Roxy was still new and was like, Jane, your dad's kind of hot. Like, that kind of stuff was really funny. And so, her being into John was, like, it was really cute. It, like, came full circle in a weird way. And also their dynamic in Homestuck proper was really adorable. It made me feel...
It was really adorable. It's just innocent.
It was innocent. It was like
it's such a contrast to all of the alpha kid like romance drama. Like there's constantly like fights and terrible shit going on.
Yeah.
And then John and Roxy are like, let's hold hands.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Also, my favorite flash ever is the one where Roxy shows up and it's like sup 17 times in a row to meow, like that like insane cat song that plays in the background. all the options are just sup.
Meow, 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 meow.
But it's like super fast.
Yeah.
I love that one. But I thought they were great in the epilogues. Super epic that they divorced.
They lost their genders in the divorce.
They lost their genders in the divorce. But I thought that was a really interesting take on their relationship.
Yeah.
Especially the way, like, Roxy jumped into things. Because Roxy wanted that, like, fairy tale relationship. And shit didn't work.
I could talk forever about Roxy dealing with compulsory heterosexuality.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Are there any ships that change the way you think about them with the regards to June being trans?
I like Terezi and June a lot. I mean, you haven't gotten to that part in the epilogues, but John Terezi are pretty good in that epilogue.
Because they sit in the car.
Yeah.
Good talk. I've just seen that.
I'm really excited for you to read the epilogue someday in the next 5 years.
I'm not excited. June Rezi could only work because as opposed to John Rezi.
Terezbian is canon in my head. Yeah. Not head canon, but canon in my head.
Yeah.
And John is also June. So Terezbian still applies.
John Rezi could only work if June is a girl. Like, because Terezbian.
Terezbian.
It would never work.
Yeah. Also, June is definitely a lesbian.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on John Cat?
Oh. I mean, I think it's really cute that Carcat had a crush on John for like half a second. But I never shipped them. I love the part at the very end of Homestuck where Carcat sees John and is immediately like, I'm not in hate with you! Yeah, God, that's one of my favorite scenes. And the whole time Dave is just like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, I don't have a crush on you or anything.
John shows up and both of them are like, we didn't have a crush on you. This is fine.
We did not have a crush on John. Not even once. Never. Not even once. But if we had. No, we didn't. No. But if we did. Oh,
John Vris.
Me too. I just looked at that.
Oh man, I actually loved that one back in the day. But It was, like, during the arc where Vriska is dead and is like, John, do you remember me? I thought that shit was sad as fuck.
I remember being very sad to the song Do You Remember Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm even more sad.
It's okay, don't be sad. June is trans.
Terezi has 2 hands.
Terezi has 2 hands.
But they're only for girls.
Yeah. But I loved Vriska actually being vulnerable with someone for once. So that's really what made John Vris work for me back then.
Oh, Jade Rose.
Jade Rose. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Rose, like, not understanding how feelings work and just being, like, a little bit mean to Jade sometimes because she just, like, doesn't know how to do feelings.
Rose being that one post that's like, get out of my school.
Yeah. Really cute. And also, did not get as much traction as John Dave. Not nearly as much.
Interesting.
Misogyny. But also Vris-can was really
but to be
quickly,
fair, Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary was and still is the greatest ship in Homestuck. No offense to every other ship. But Vris-can being, like, really quickly something that people latched onto is definitely nullifies Jade Rose quite a bit.
Unfortunately. But I feel like
Naya
would be like, Rose has 2 hands.
I mean, you're correct. Dude, in the epilogues, bro, Jade would be, I mean...
Jade being polyamorous is the best thing that's ever happened to Homestuck.
I love Jade so much. I love Jade.
I love
Jade bloods.
I love Jades.
I love Jade more than I can express in words. Oh, God.
You know, it'd be really funny if Jade was a troll. She wouldn't be a Jade blood.
Yeah, you're right. I think she. Wait, what do you think she would be?
I don't know, but she wouldn't be a Jade blood. That'd be too easy.
It would be too easy. I think she would be. This is just because of the parallels between her and Fef, but I think she would be a fuchsia. I almost said violet, but that's not the right color.
Violet
Fuchsia.
is Aridin.
Yeah, it's not the right color.
I can't remember because I'm an old Homestuck fan, and I'm like, indigo. That's Gamzee, but indigo now refers to.
I don't know what colors are. Listen,
you know what? I don't want to hear
no,
this.
I'm saying that about me. I tried to explain the indigo is, like, between blue and purple, but more blue. And someone was like, "Are you stupid? There's no purple in indigo." And I was like, "Shit, I guess I'm stupid. I don't know."
Cause back in the day we had different names for the blood colors because Feferi's blood color was Kyrian.
Yeah.
And then Gamzee's blood color was indigo.
I guess. Dude, I don't know colors.
But now indigo refers to
stupid.
Equius, which doesn't make sense because indigo is purpley blue.
Okay, thank you. We have the same definition of indigo, but some people are just like, no, it's just blue. And I'm like, shit.
They're colorblind.
Maybe.
Well, what if we're just both tetrachromats?
Whoa. Kind of hot.
Yeah.
I had a weird experience with an Aridin Karkat shipper.
Go on.
It was somewhat recently. It was before I did my reread. But, I just, like, casually met someone that was, like, a Homestuck online. Like, we're in the same chat, and someone mentioned Homestuck, and we were both like, oh, we've both read Homestuck. And we, like, got into a little conversation about that. And they were, like, furious that Homestuck was, like, so poorly written as to not have Aridin and Karkat end up together. And I was like, bitch, Aridin's racist and dead. Like,
why is this person who's the bottom of the social ladder not wanting to be with this extremely racist person? Like, what's up with that?
Like, I think their justification was that they wanted all the characters to have, like, a redemption arc, or, like, to have, like, fully completed character arcs. But I was like, I feel like you were missing the point of Homestuck in a way. Well, like, not the point of Homestuck, but the way Homestuck is written is not traditionally following character archetypes, or, like...
Some characters just in Homestuck just don't get a complete character arc because they die.
Yeah.
That happens in real life,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Aridin having character growth after he dies.
But also,
it would be a while. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. He
Some
really
people
didn't.
are just shitty. And that's, like, one of the main messages of Homestuck. Some people are just shitty. not one of the main messages, but
the
like,
main message of
the main
Homestuck.
message of Homestuck is that people are shitty and will never change. No, I'm just kidding. But like characters like Gamzee and Aridin, they don't get redemption because a lot of times people like that don't redeem themselves, and there's no way to actually fully make up for what they do.
If Gamzee had a redemption arc, I would be upset.
Yeah.
He doesn't need one.
You need to read the epilogue.
I know he gets fucked up in the epilogues.
There's a joke. I'm just gonna go into it because there's a joke in the Candy side of the epilogues where it's like, for everything to be good, we have to have redemption arcs for the characters that need to be redeemed. And so Gamzee gets a quote-unquote redemption arc and becomes like a weird cult leader, and like there's ghosts. He makes out with Tavros at some point. It's disgusting.
Wait, like alive Tavros?
No, he's dead.
The dead body?
No, like he's like a ghost.
Okay. I was like, wait, are we talking about another necrophilia situation?
I mean, it kind of is. It's just weird. Everyone's uncomfortable with it. Nobody likes Gamzee, but it's there. It happens. It's weird. Yeah, but the point of that is that redemption arcs don't always go the way they should, because not everyone can be redeemed in that kind of way. Like, there's no...
Sometimes when you kill half your friend group, you don't need to be redeemed.
Really? That's how it is. It's like, shit, man. What could he do to make things better other than be a literal different person? What do you think of Gamzee and Karkat?
Like what quadrant?
Moirels. Because when that happened, it was like a big deal.
I remember when that happened, I was like, wow, that's so romantic. And now when I'm like an adult, I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was so weird.
Even both of them were like that. Karkat's like, ew, what happened?
That awkward moment when you see this murderous guy and you just can't help but face pap him. And you're like, oh shit, what have I done?
Oh, I love Karkat. He's just a good boy.
Karkat?
But that flash before the shoosh pap, that was like a big deal. I remember it got people excited.
The 5-way combo or whatever.
The shoosh pap was also a big deal. So like, props to that ship for inventing the shoosh pap.
Karkat and Gamzee invented more religions.
Oh, ew.
I know, I hate it too.
Equius and Nepeta are quaking. Literally.
You know what's the biggest ripoff in all of Homestuck? Nepeta didn't kill the fuck out of Gamzee.
Yeah,
she should have.
She should have.
Instead of just scratching his face, she should have just
just gone
dug
all the
it
way
in.
through, all the way to the other side.
It's twist.
Like turning a key. What do you think is an underrated ship? I know you mentioned one earlier, but I don't know if you'll remember it right now.
I forgot what I said.
It was Feferi and Nepeta.
Huh.
Because Feferi
and Nepeta.
They have so much in common.
Yes, they're so good. Nepeta and Terezi. What other ships?
They be role playing. I love that.
Soulcat. Soulcat is a fun one. I like a little bit of pale black vacillation. Oh, Karkat and Nepeta would have been cute, but I don't think it would have worked out.
It makes me sad. I think Karkat and Nepeta is interesting because the only thing that like solidifies that in a way is the sufferer and the disciple, like, because they exist. That was like the one bone thrown to the like Karnep shippers, and it was like, there you go. And then like Cancri and Mulin like don't talk, and then like Nepeta dies, and Karkat's like, yeah, okay.
He doesn't actually like her that much.
Yeah,
he kind of there's that one point in the Karkat Wake Up, I think, where he recognizes that she has a crush on him, and he's like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But he also was like, in the very beginning, he was like, Nepeta, stupid autistic cat girl.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of that is just Karkat just being Karkat, where he's like...
Also, Karkat doing that thing where he, like, he pushes everyone away really hard.
I think a lot of it is that, and also, him not feeling good enough, like, to have someone like him. He
doesn't feel like he deserves someone liking him. He kind of looks down on Nepeta because she likes him. He's like, I hate myself, so you should too. And not in a romantic way. God, Karkat needs
if you
help.
Hate yourself so much, why don't you just marry yourself?
Jade Cat.
I don't love them as a ship necessarily, especially
I love their like their friendship.
I love their friendship. Yeah, exactly. I did, for a while, I did have, like, interest in seeing where their relationship went, like, if it ever did go romantic in canon, and now that I've seen it romantic in canon, I don't want it.
I think pretty much every single Alternian character, every troll character, is hindered romantically because of the emphasis that Alternia puts on soulmates.
I think you're right.
Because everyone wants their relationships to be completely perfect.
It has
and
to
it's not
be
going
the
to
one in every quadrant.
See Aridin and Pfeffery.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Pfeff was also, like, literally being completely drained by Aridin because Aridin's a leech.
Well, Aridin leeched off of her because he felt like, well, our ancestors were together, so we must be soulmates.
Yeah, you're right.
And the same thing with him and Vriska when they were dating.
Yeah.
Like,
so much of that emphasis on ancestors too, like relationships that aren't even their own that they feel like they have to carry out.
Also, Nepeta and Karkat.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't think they knew about that one.
They might have, but I don't know if they did. But like, there's so many things like, and we talked about this in an episode that will never air. But the fact that so much of Alternian culture is based on like fate and like soulmates and like. You kind of feel like...
It's kind of, also kind of the idea, it, like, to have a parallel to Earth culture is, like, to do what your parents want, in a way, because their ancestors are the closest thing they have to parents. So it's, like, to do what their ancestors were doing is to make them happy, is to be happy, is to be your ancestor.
There's just so much emphasis on it, and it, like, affects every single area of every Alternian's life. For those who are aware of their ancestors. Like, they feel this huge, like, pressure to be perfect in every way, and that really affects the way that they do romance. There's the whole quadrant rant ends with, like, they believe that there's one singular person for every single quadrant that they are made for.
Yeah.
And that just hurts them in the end.
It really does. Fucked up. Fucked up if true. So, did you have any ships that you think are overrated?
Overrated ships?
I think for me it was just Aridin and Sollux.
Aridin and Sollux is a bit overrated. I feel like it could have had potential, but it didn't, in the comic at least. Gamzee and Tavros.
Yeah.
Like, it was cute in that one scene, kind of, but Tavros was, like, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I also, I do feel like a lot of people dropped off of that strip, though, like, just as time has gone by. But, like,
these days, people don't really ship it that much, but back in the day, it was rampant.
Yeah, it was unavoidable.
People were like, oh my god, look at Gamzee making out with Tavros' dead body.
Yeah, people loved that. That was, like, the hot shit.
What other ships?
Grimdorks.
What is Grimdorks?
Rose and John. That was according to the ship chart that Karkat made. I love how it just never worked out, but I love their friendship. It's because Rose is a lesbian. And so is John.
Wait a minute, they're both lesbians.
I don't think Rose is attracted to John. I just think they're good friends.
Yeah, I don't think it would have ended up working out, even considering gender similarities.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Karkat's ship chart, Jade Dave. That makes me feel really upset after the epilogue.
Dave Jade makes me feel some sort of way.
It's
like it hurts me.
It does.
Especially Jade and Dave Sprite. Their relationship was so sad. Yeah. Especially, like, I don't know, Dave Sprite was just, like, dealing with, a lot of stuff. And I don't think...
Jade Sprite and Dave Sprite specifically had a lot in common, and, like, for that brief moment where they were together, it was, like, I feel like there was a little bit of comfort for both of them. Oh, I'm crying. Who else could understand, though, besides
no one else would really understand the emotions that they were going through.
But Jade Dave proper, like, not Jade Sprite, Dave Sprite.
Yeah.
Also, wait, I forgot that Jade dated Dave Sprite too.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. But Jade, the idea of Jade always having either these feelings or the idea that she should be with Dave is deeply upsetting to me.
so many people in Homestuck are with people because of, like, compulsory societal reasons.
Yeah.
Like, they feel like they have
feel
to
like
be.
they should be with that person
It's like, oh, I
rather
have
than
to be with
actually
this person.
genuinely, like, wanting to be with him. And I don't know, maybe for Jade, she, like, genuinely does love Dave. I think she does love him.
In a way.
I don't know if it is romantic, and I do think it could be. I mean, especially after seeing them, spoilers, get, like, married and stuff. She seems very happy, at least much happier than Dave seems, which is deeply upsetting. But,
And that's on repressed homosexuality.
Woo! But also, she also has this period of her life in the epilogues where she's, like, exploring with a lot of other people, and it's like she could be happy with someone else, I think, or just, like, never being with one person, but also because she feels like she should end up with Dave or Karkat, or both, that she pursues it so heavily.
Doesn't Jade fuck a carapace?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. She fucks a carapace couple. She gets into a throuple with the carapaces. Jade fucks. And so does Jake. Jake be out there. His ass is out.
Jake passed down the horny gene to Jade.
He literally did that.
And Jade alone. Oh, Dirk Jake hurts me so much. Oh god, I just remembered to love Dirk Strider is to obey him.
Disgusting. Dirk, seek help. He needs therapy.
Dirk doesn't need a boyfriend. Dirk needs therapy.
He really does. But I think part of the problem was that he was treating Jake as his therapist, perhaps. I mean, we didn't get to see them really.
We saw them interact once.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see them have a lot of conversations in their relationship. Also, fucking, for almost the entirety of the comic, we don't see Dirk and Jake truly interact. Every single time they talk, it's either Jake talking to AR, or Jake talking to Dirk in the past, or Jake talking to Brain Dirk. It's like, when do we ever see them, like, truly meet each other as equals? And we fucking, like, never do.
It's so narratively ironic.
Yeah.
Because they have communication issues.
They're just a mess. But, because we don't really see them talking in their relationship, like, while it's happening, I imagine that, like, just based on the reactions of the characters, that it was a lot of Dirk, as they say, being overbearing, and I do imagine a lot of that is him treating either Jake as his therapist, like, in a kind of way, because just in my mind, overbearing is having to play someone else's therapist all the time. Like, not, like, being able to, like, comfort each other on, like, our own terms, but, like, someone, you know, like, constantly is expecting you to fix their problems for them. And I do think Dirk is too proud of a person to truly do that with Jake all the time, but also the excitement of, like, being in that relationship is like, oh, I can be a lot more open about what I'm feeling, and Jake is super not ready for that.
Jake is in a very special place because he's, like...
Jake is a very special boy.
He's just so sexualized by all of his friends.
Yeah.
It's to the point where you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Where everyone, like, puts the, like, future of all of their romantic relationships onto him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every single person in his friend group has a crush on him.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing that I say about Jake is that he is a victim of, like, hypersexualization of girls and also toxic masculinity. Like, he experiences, like, all ends of the spectrum of fucked up gender bullshit. Like, he's treated as, like, a sex object, and, like,
he's treated as a trophy to be won.
Exactly.
Not a person.
He's treated as a trophy, but he himself is also struggling with a lot of being viewed that way, and also wanting to be, like, a manly man while also still not actually taking up that role. Like, he just parades it in the worst
puts
ways.
on, like, a mask of,
He
like,
does.
being a manly adventure guy.
Yep, and expecting that of the men around him, which then affects Dirk, and it's like, oh, they it's just a big old mess.
Everyone gave everyone else toxic masculinity.
That's really how life is.
Also, Jake is autistic.
You're probably right.
I am right.
You wrote Homestuck, you should know.
That wasn't relative to shipping at all, but I just needed to put that out there.
I fully believe that.
We could talk about that another time.
I could go off about Jake. I have gone off about Jake toward you. So, like, I've sent you paragraphs of my thoughts on Jake.
Oh, yeah.
And Oh god, I love Jake. He's one of my favorite characters, and also a character that I project myself onto a lot. So it's like, oof, love that child. He is a child, good lord.
He is. He's a child.
He's a child.
Which just makes it even more fucked up how much everyone is sexualizing him.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because they just...
They...
He's more than just a fat ass, guys.
Ow! I hurt myself. But, and then in the epilogues, he's like, maybe I am just a fat ass. And it's like, oh, Jake, get your ass off TV, son. It's not good for you. Poor Jake. I still love Jerk Jake, though. There's a lot of really interesting stuff going on there.
Turk Jake would be good, but they need couples counseling.
Correct.
First of all, they both need individual therapy and therapy as a couple.
Yeah.
And not from Rose, because Rose is not a licensed
Rose is not a
physician.
therapist. Rose also needs therapy.
Rose saw Freud and was like, I'm a therapist now.
She looked at a picture of Freud and was like, that could be me. I love her. Oh god, there's a part in the epilogues where Dirk and Rose are talking about how they both read Wikipedia articles on, like, different psychological phenomena, and it's the funniest thing in the world.
Rose.
Rose.
Really, truly, the only good Rose ship, Rosemary.
Yeah. Vris-can-Rose. Consider the following.
I don't get it. Like, I've never gotten Vris-can-Rose.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. I just like okay, I like Vris-can-Rose in the context of Kanaya is also there. So I like, so it's Vris-can-Rose.
Vris-can...
Yeah.
Vris-can-Rose. I don't know how that's
She
said.
can Rose.
She can Rose. I don't think Kanaya and Vriska would ever have a healthy relationship.
No, I don't think so either. I think that Kanaya's crush on her is sweet, and I think that Vriska does care about Kanaya in her own way, but I don't think they could ever maintain a healthy relationship.
I think Kanaya kind of has, like, an idealized version of Vriska in her head that
Definitely.
she is in love with, not actually Vriska.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think Vriska has
Also-
an idealized version of Vriska in her head that she's in love with. That's not actually herself.
Her name is Mindfang.
Jake and oh my god, what's her name? Arania. Sorry, I just brought that up because God, I'm a Jake Kinney and I love Arania.
The real reason why Kanaya was in love with both Vriska and Rose is because she's a moth.
Shut up! Shut up! Ugh,
Prove me wrong.
that's really funny though. She's a moth.
I love how all of the Jade Bloods have, like, a bug theme.
Yeah, they're buggos. So I think we kind of answered the questions that I brought up.
Oh, when do we ever actually answer the real questions in
Honestly,
the outlines
I
that
don't
we
think
make?
it's that important as long as we just keep talking. Surely podcasts are just saying words without actually having any meaning to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my rare pair that I ship. I don't actually know how rare it is, but I really like Cancri and Damara.
Yeah. You just love Cancri being a bottom.
You
can bleep that out.
You can't out me like this.
You can bleep it out if you want.
I'm not even mad because you're right.
I know I'm right. That's a good ship, though. I think it's interesting.
Do you have a rare pair?
I
don't know if I really, like, ship them. I just think they have an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters I feel that way about. Because, like, shipping for me is, like, I want to see this relationship go somewhere. Like, I want to look at the fan art and, like, read the fanfic and, like, see them do a little kiss, maybe. But there's also a lot of ships where I'm like, this could be interesting, and then I don't really think upon it further. But, like, I really liked Cancri and Latula's, like, weird thing, where Cancri has, like, a fucked up crush on her.
That relationship, so, oh my god, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, like, more fucking soulmate stuff there.
Yep.
They're like, well, our descendants were in love.
Yeah. Fucked up how their descendants are also
their ancestors.
Their ancestors, and it still
That's why-
affects them. People just be affecting each other. That's the real message of Homestuck.
MS Pain Adventures. People just be affecting each other. Why aren't you on the marketing team for Homestuck?
I should be. Hire me. I just think it was cute and gross. Just, like, his crush on her It's a little bit creepy, but like in a fun way where it's fun to read.
It's hilariously bad.
Yeah.
Where because he's such a misogynist.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in love with you, but I hate you because you're a woman.
I mean, he doesn't say it like that, but it's like...
He means it.
He'd be looking down on her just a little bit. More than just a little bit, but...
Cancry could never be in a healthy relationship because he's not a healthy person.
Correct. Oh, we should... Earlier, we both discovered that, dirt cancry is a thing, and both of us instantly had the reaction of, ew, why? They would hate each other. Oh.
It wouldn't work because they're both bottoms.
True. That's why all the relationships just don't work out in Homestuck. Dirk, Jake, I mean... I was gonna say...
I feel like Jake is a switch. This is not the conversation we should be having right now.
Jake is a service top. Anyway, we brought up this old, I don't know when this one came out.
Is it 2015 or 2016? It was a survey of Homestuck shipping. It includes, like, the year you started reading Homestuck, your gender, your sexuality, how old you are.
Yeah, we thought it would be interesting to go through, react to, like, what was the most popular, who liked what was really obscure that people still voted for, stuff like that. This whole time we've kind of been glancing at it to just get ideas for which ships we could remember. But I want to go through it, like, from the top. I do love that a lot of people's favorite character is Carcat, apparently. He's, like, the most popular favorite character.
He's so good.
He deserves it.
The most popular ship according to the survey is...
In 2016.
Dave Cat?
Yes. Dave Cat is by far... It has, like, almost 300 more votes than number 2. I mean, people love gays. What can I say?
Next is Rosemary. People love gays.
People love gays.
People will see a Strylon and be like, is anyone gonna ship that with another same gender person? And they won't even wait for an answer.
That's so fucking true. And it's relevant in number 3.
And number 4. Number 3 is Dirk Jake. Number 4 is John Dave.
It surprises me that John Dave is still that high up there on this one. Because John Dave used to be super popular.
Yeah, John Dave was the huge thing. Oh, Terezzi is number 5.
Ooh, I used to love Terezzi, but...
Terezzi just kind of gives me emotional pain.
Yeah. Terezbian. See, the thing is... I don't think it really would have worked out.
Because Carcat projected his, like, feelings onto her, kind of. He had an idealized version of her.
I think they both had idealized versions of each other to an extent. Terezzi less so, because I don't think she really does that as much as other people, surprisingly. But, I think she just, like, wanted to connect with him in a way that he was not ready for. And also that she was not ready for. 'Cause, like,
they weren't ready.
Yeah. They weren't ready for each other, and I don't know if they ever could have been.
They were just 13. Number 6 is Roxygen.
Which is, John and Roxy.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was cute.
It was cute.
I'm kind of sad to see that it got super fucked up in the epilogues.
It's okay, they got an epic divorce, bro. It was super cool. They got each other's genders. They have a kid now.
Who got the kid?
Roxy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, John wasn't really a good dad because he was super depressed.
Harley Burtz will, like, have a kid and neglect them.
Shut up.
Name one Harley Burt who had a kid and didn't neglect them.
Dad.
Dad's not a Harley Burt. He's technically Jane's son.
Yeah.
Fucked up that John and his dad are brothers.
Ew. I don't want to think about that right now. But, Dad does count. He is technically...
Just because his last name is Egbert doesn't make him ectobiologically related.
I know, but still...
Jake mistreated all of his kids.
That's really depressing.
John, terrible father.
Yeah. Well, it's not that he was terrible. It's just, like, Harry Anderson has a point. Or, like, he has this, like, internal monologue at some point where he's like, Dad always is, like, crying every time he sees me, and it's super weird. I wish he wouldn't do it.
Oh, epic divorce, bro.
Epic divorce, man. John is just, like, he's dealing with way too much. Jane fucking sucks on all levels.
She's definitely... I've never read the epilogues, but I can tell you for a fact she's not a good mother to Tavros.
Oh, no. Oh no.
Jade is the only one worth redeeming, but I don't think she has a child.
She doesn't have a child, but
let's not take a risk on it.
she's
a great grandma. To
yeah, I was gonna say that. She was a good grandma.
But the thing about the Alpha universe is that the Alpha universe is the best version of the Alpha kids, or the Beta kids, whereas the Beta universe is the worst version of the Alpha kids. Mm-hmm. Which is where you see
Jane technically was a good mom to Dad Egbert.
Yeah, it's weird she just had a regular ass kid.
Yeah, kind of disgusting.
Gross.
Imagine having sex. Lame, bro.
When I grow up, I want to have a kid from goo.
You know, the way the cool kids do it.
Yeah, it's so fucked up that every single Alpha kid treated their children like shit, except for Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
whoa.
Because it's the worst version of them.
Yeah.
Like, we have Mom Lalonde, who's an alcoholic and neglects Rose. We have Bro, who beats the shit out of Dave on the reg.
I think Jane is the exception, because I would say her Beta universe self is the best version of herself. But also, it's really kind of fucked up, because during that time, she was also, like, under control of the Batter Witch. Mm-hmm. So it's like, she was being oppressed. And that was the best version of herself.
The only time Jane has ever been oppressed.
That was the one universe where, like, things worked out for her, other than when she got hit by a meteor. And
everything worked out except when she got hit by a literal meteor.
Yeah.
No, she didn't die because of the meteor. She died because Colonel Sassacre fell on her because of the meteor, right?
Wait.
Because I remember them saying that she died because of the book. She died because it was an unabridged version of Colonel Sassacre's fell onto her.
I think you're right. Shit, I don't remember.
But I do remember seeing a picture of her, like, with baby John on the back.
I think it's really funny that, Jake shot someone. He was a baby. It's only vaguely related.
Murder starts early.
Who gave this baby pistols? John?
Colonel Sassacre.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about ships. God, we were talking about how... we were
talking about Roxygen. This went, like, way other places.
Okay. Aerosol.
Dave Jade. John Cat.
I like John Cat, but I just don't think it would work out.
Yeah.
I like it as a concept.
SCERJ. I think a lot of people's opinions on that changed, like, after Homestuck ended.
Because people used to hate SCERJ sisters.
Yeah, it's because they used to hate each other. Like, no one could really see it working out.
Because their romance goes beyond quadrants. They have pale feelings, and black feelings, and red feelings.
They transcend quadrants, bro.
Bro. There's nothing more romantic to me than a couple in Homestuck transcending quadrants.
I mean, it's almost as if the quadrants are an unnecessary social idea that people put themselves into boxes for so they could achieve a version of happiness that they were told they should have.
Bro. Quadrants are a social construct.
Yeah. Aerosol, very good.
Yeah, it's good. I like them as bros, though.
I know, you keep saying that, but it's like, it's my one heady ship. I'll have it for myself. And, Netcat, John Vris, Sollcat.
Sollcat is so good.
Sollcat is so good.
If there had been, like, a AU where they didn't play the game, Sollcat would be it, man.
Yeah.
Sollcat would have been it, man.
Grimdorks. Cute.
No.
Nah.
No.
Concrete? Ew, okay. See, I don't get it. Because I'm not a Cronus fan, like, at all. Like, I've never been into the Amphoras, so I just don't get it.
Well, it's not that bad of a ship, but people project onto it so heavily of things that it's actually not, that it makes me, like, not like it. Because if people were like, I like these two characters with their personalities, I'd be like, cool. But people are like, I like these two characters, and I'm gonna change their personalities completely.
Yeah, I feel like that happened a lot with Homestuck characters, especially, like, back in the day. They're just like, oh, I vaguely understand what this character's about. Time to, like, vaguely pepper that into my own interpretation that's nothing like the canon. And I guess that's fine, but also I don't have to like it.
Yeah. You don't have to follow canon, and I don't have to like it.
Yeah. Like, I like Homestuck for being Homestuck. It's fine.
I like Cancree because he's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be an soft boy. Gamtaff, meh.
I'm surprised. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised since this was 2016 when this was taken. But, had this been taken earlier, it would have been much higher.
Oh, Gamtav would have been, like, top 5.
Yeah. Jade Cat is under Gamtav.
That's surprising. We talked about Jade Cat already.
Yeah.
Gamcar, weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird relationship, and I'm, like, high-key glad it didn't happen.
You know what's fucking disgusting that I absolutely hated, and was actually one of the things that, I stopped keeping up with Homestuck updates for? Terezi and Gamzee.
Oh, want to talk about no TPs?
Yeah.
Terezi and Gamzee is my...
That was just a nightmare. For the characters, too. It was just no good.
God, there's just so much stuff there. I can't even unpack it all.
It's just bad. Terezi was dealing with a lot. That one panel of Terezi, like, in her underwear, like, wrapped up in her thing, like, drunk off of Fago, like, that was rough. That was rough, buddy.
I do love the way that they made Fago, like, alcoholic for trolls. I think that's so funny.
It's really funny. So, Jade Cat, Gamcar, John Rezi. I have a lot of feelings about John Rezi, and almost all of them are positive. But it's also, like, I also care a lot about SCERJ as a ship, so it's like...
What are your thoughts
Terezbian has 2 hands, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Arafef.
Arafef is a good ship. So is Jade Fef.
I love Jade Fef, but that's mostly just, like, my own,
projection.
Like, yeah, it's just, like, 2 of my favorite girl characters. Of course, I'm gonna want to see them
They
together.
only interact, like, once.
Yeah, but it's,
Which
like,
is sad. If they had interacted more,
it,
they would have been really good friends. You know what I think about constantly? The fact that Dave was role-playing with Nepeta. And he has a persona that he role-plays with her as.
Wait, you said Nepeta?
Yeah.
Wait, shit.
Dave and Nepeta role-played, and he had a furry, like OC.
I thought that was with Jade.
No.
Wait, shit, what the fuck?
Like, he mentions,
he
mentions his persona very early on.
I thought it was with Jade, though.
No. Well, I think he does, but he mentions having, like, a furry persona named, like, Aquet Permusk.
Yeah.
But later in one of the games, Nepeta mentions that Quet Permusk, like, very offhandedly. They roleplayed together.
Oh, Dave would definitely do that, just for the lulz. But
Just
also, you know he had a good time.
He'd never admit it. He had a great time.
I love Dave. Such a good boy.
Vris-cat.
Ew, what? Ew. Okay, that's, like, not that many people like it.
7 people. Out of, like, thousands.
More people like Vris-cat than Jade Rose? What the heck?
That's a ripoff.
What the heck? Okay, so, we left off at, wait. Go back up.
John Rezi, Arafef, Vris-can, not healthy. Erikar, also not healthy.
Also, just bad experience with that one fan who was just...
Don't let that one fan ruin that ship for you.
She wasn't even a fan. It was just, like, some annoying person that I, like, happened to have a conversation with, and it's like, but it's... whatever.
Dave Rezi. That one pains me.
Yeah.
That one hurts me.
I was never a fan of it, because I always liked them as bros, but also it made sense.
I love them as bros.
Yeah.
Terezbian.
She
has a relationship with the boy and is like, we date now?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Mituna and Latula. Their relationship is also... Oh, I forgot Meow Rose, but that's a given.
Mm-hmm. Mituna and Latula is one of the better ones, like, one of the more healthy ones of the people that are staying together for eternity.
Yeah.
I mean, they still clearly have their issues, especially on Latula's end. But
Latula seems to have issues.
Latula seems to have issues.
It just seems like she feels like she's trapped in the relationship.
Yeah. But she does have moments where she's like, yeah, I still do care about him a lot, but it's also because she cares about him a lot that she can't really leave if she wants to. It's hard.
Mituna would straight up, if he was alive, he would straight up die without her.
Yeah.
Mituna could not survive on his own.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, as a no TP, Cronus and Mituna.
Yeah.
Like, people who ship that, you okay?
It's not even good black. Like,
no, it's like he's just mean.
He's
like, Cronus
just a
is
jerk.
just mean. Like, that's one of the few moments in Homestuck where I was like, this is just, like, genuinely just mean. Like, he's just being a dick.
Oh, also, another ship that's super unhealthy is Cancri and Mituna. The only interactions they have are Cancri going like, I hate you because you're disabled.
Yeah, pretty much. Cancri, seek help.
Cancri... I could talk about
I
him.
know. We could have, like, a whole Cancri podcast. You love Cancri, bro. You love/hate Cancri, bro.
I'm vacillating. Wow, that's all of the ships.
Meow Rails.
Meow Rails.
Yeah.
And then Vris-cat and Jade Rose.
Yeah.
Vris-cat, why?
I don't get it.
They barely interact.
Roxy and Jane. Oh, okay. So, Roxy and Jane was one of those things where it's like, I definitely was rooting for it in the beginning, and then Jane ended up being an asshole to Roxy all the time. And it was like,
Roxy doesn't deserve that.
Roxy deserves the world.
Roxy's the best
Roxy
character.
deserves Calliope.
Objectively, this is true. Why isn't this ship on the list?
I don't know.
I'm surprised.
They were in the
because
epilogues, like, as, like, I think.
the epilogues hadn't come out when this thing
Yeah,
came
I
out.
know,
But I'm surprised because I remember when Roxy and Calliope, like were interacting, people shipped them so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Number 13.
Calliope, like, gave her a ring, or they gave Calliope a ring.
Yeah. They're married.
They're married.
Mina and Aradia. Kurlas and Mulan.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I have fond memories of that ship, though, because my girlfriend, when I was, like, 13, that I met in a Homestuck roleplay chat room, we changed our URLs to be, like, Mulan and Kurlos themed, so it's, like,
I recall
fun
this.
memories, yeah. And also, I just love them both aesthetically, so every time I see art of them, I'm like, they look beautiful.
It's a beautiful ship, and...
Fucked up.
Fucked up.
Fucked up, if true.
They're not even dating in canon.
Not anymore, right?
Yeah, they broke
used
up.
to be.
Yeah.
Because he yelled in her ear so loud she went deaf. Fucked
And he
up.
tore out his tongue. Fucked up, man.
I was gonna say, how does he eat? But he's dead.
He doesn't. How did he eat, though?
Probably through a straw. Yeah, he shook and Fago through a straw. Feferi and Sollux. I think it's funny that Sollux has a type.
Long-haired girls.
Energetic girls that have a little bit of a morbid side to them. Love that for him.
Sollux has two hands.
Sollux does have two hands.
There's like a small ship war between Solfef and Aerosol. But honestly, he could be in a relationship with both of them.
I can see that.
Imagine him not being in a relationship with two people.
That's really funny. But also I think it's this is just my interpretation, but I think that Sollux, I think that Fef was kind of the rebound for Sollux because Aradia had been dead for a while and then died again.
Like an hour.
No, like she had been a ghost for a while and then like died again in front of him. And it's like, shit, I guess I'll be comforted by this girl that likes me that acts a lot like how she used to act.
Okay, but also I saw Aerosol, or Aerosol, not Aerosol.
Yeah.
I saw them as like a red couple while I saw Feferi and Sollux as more pale.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he still was like, I need another long-haired weird girl.
I need a long-haired girl to comfort me. I'm so sad. So sad. Except he would never say that.
No, he would not. Rufio and Damara, talk about a fucked up shit.
Yikes.
Yikesies.
Yikes. Rufio, what are you doing? Get it together.
Rufio's not a good person.
No, he's not. He is kind of hot, though. When he's like, hey, doll, I'm like, wow, you're so cool.
You know what I think of? Oh, it's just because I have a crush on Dante Bosco. That's the only reason why I like Rufio.
Yeah.
But, I think about constantly the fact when Mina walks up to him and she says something, and then Rufio's like, whoa, are you hitting on me? You're the only person who's not hit on me. Cancri hit on Rufio.
Wow. I love the idea of Cancri being charmed by Rufio. Rufio
kind of hilarious.
Rufio called him doll, and he was like, not to be degraded or anything, but
he would
I enjoyed that.
He would outwardly be like, how dare you say this thing to me? And instead he's like,
say it again.
Oh yeah, they have talked though in canon. Like there's a part Rufio's like, I'm a mutant, don't tell Cancri. I said that. Tavros and Aradia are bros. I love them.
Yeah, they're so fun. That was like Tabris's
Adventure Bros.
only friend, like, for the longest time. They had fun together. Also, Aradia is so cool.
Aradia is so cool.
I love her.
Name one uncool thing about Aradia.
I genuinely can't. I love every single thing about her.
Arania and Porum. They were in a relationship in the
That's
past.
so fucking hot.
But to be fair,
horny brain jumped out.
Porum is really hot.
Porum and Arania are both so... Arania is
They're
like...
both MILFs, that's why you like them.
Arania is like perfectly, like, aesthetically my type. I'm just like, oh dear Christ. Oh dear Christ. But man,
Cronus and Porum?
Oh, I used to... Oh, wait. Sorry. I got just
Cronus.
completely distracted.
Cronus and
But,
Porum.
Disgusting.
She would beat the shit out of him.
Babe, it's time for your 4 p.m. tentable stomping. That's not relationship. But
No, you can't say this.
I can. But, Arania and, oh my god, what is her name? Mina, that's what I was gonna say. I used to love that ship, like, so much back in the day.
Lesbians.
I still like it a lot, but also, Mina is just, like, so chaotic of a character that it's really hard to imagine her, like,
In a relationship.
in a relationship, like, perfectly
Even
happy
with
someone.
Vriska.
Even with Vaska.
She's too chaotic. She can't be tied down.
She can't be tied down.
She can't be anchored down.
I have to go home.
Aqueous and Dirk. Aqueous and
Dirk is the only ship that matters.
It's so funny because they're both like bronies. They're both like just the idea. Arqueous is the thing that makes that work.
Yeah, it is.
Arqueous is Aqueous and Dirk as a relationship.
And it's great. It's fantastic.
Great. He loves himself.
I fucking love Arqueous. I love Arqueous more than he loves himself, if that's even possible. Arqueous is the best character in Homestuck.
We're just gonna say that about every character.
True.
Dirk
California
John.
and Dirk. I was we both mentioned different Dirk ships. I hate every ship involving Dirk and John.
Yeah.
That includes like Bro John and Dirk John.
But what about
Grandpa and Dirk?
Grandpa Eggman?
Ew.
People ship this is like a very brief aside, but people ship Grandpa Harley and Bro Strider.
I actually like that.
I think it's hilarious.
I like it just because that one the no
No
homo
homo?
video. That one moment where they're interacting, it's like kind of hot.
Caliborn and Dirk though.
Caliborn and Dirk is really interesting. That one
The scene where he's drawing porn for him is the only like backing for this couple for me.
it's the funniest. But that one fic that I sent you, I can't remember the name of it right now. But that fic single-handedly made me almost...
Is it House of Dirk?
Yes, it is. Okay. That is so well written, and it's so funny. It had me in tears, like, crying, laughing
House
at it.
of Dirk is the only valid Caliborn Dirk ship.
Yeah.
Fic. It's called Dirk UU. I always forget that.
Yeah, because no one calls him UU anymore, because he has
Because he has a name now.
Yeah. Aridin and Rose? That's really funny.
The only interaction they ever had
was like Aridin being like, magic isn't real, and Rose was like, I don't care. Who are you?
Aridin is a simp.
He really is.
Okay. Aqueous and Carcat. Okay. So this is one of the ones I ship, and it's my like crack ship because it doesn't make sense, but I love it.
For a second when he said Aqueous, I thought he said Aridin, and I was like, didn't we just have this
No,
conversation?
Aqueous
and Carcat. That one, there's that part.
There's this, just my I just really like the part where they're talking in the flash. and Carcat's like, no.
Oh.
Carcat's like, stop being so fucking weird. It's gross. And Aqueous is like, is that an order?
I thought you were gonna talk about the part where, Aqueous is talking about how Aridin makes him uncomfortable.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
And Carcat's like, oh my god, yes, high five.
Bros. Carcat being a bro with everyone is my favorite shit.
I love that. Carcat deserves friends.
Aqueous is really gross, though.
Yeah, he's super disgusting.
What if I made you a robot body and made you fall madly in love with me? Just kidding, you're a low blood. That's disgusting.
Unless Fairy and Vriska. Interesting. They have one interaction that's really funny. Fef gets along with everyone.
Fef is the best.
Fef is the... Anyway.
I feel like we covered everything and nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like we like just rambled on about ships for, I mean, that's the point of the episode,
yeah.
but like we talked about literally nothing.
That's okay. We can do whatever we want. If we want to make a second one, then we can some other time.
If you, okay, one last question before. If you had to ship anyone with no sense whatsoever, 2 characters, maybe they never even met, who would you ship?
PM and Miss Paint.
Valid.
I'm into it.
Which quadrant? Well, we just talked about how quadrants are BS, but like, which quadrant?
Maid Spirits. They love each other. They love each other. She would bring Miss Paint mail, and Miss Paint would be like, "Ooh, she's so pretty."
I'm just imagining like a white picket fence and
yeah. Spade Slick gets cut in the ship.
Oh my god.
What would be your... Oh.
I just remembered how hot Snowman is.
Oh my god. Snowman.
I don't even know what I ship. Oh yeah, if I could ship any 2 characters and have them be together in the comic, it would be Terezbian and Nepeta.
Yeah, that'd be really good. But also Vriska. Homestuck without Vriska. Anyway, that's my final word on this podcast.
Well, you heard it here, folks. The heterosexuality is done. We deleted it. We hacked into the mainframe and we deleted heterosexuality.
Sollux said that.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.